The content of this channel is for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button. And please, feel free to share the video. Thank you. What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD. You're tuned into the Green Gorilla channel. It's the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chases. I'd like to give a shout out to all the members of the Green Gorilla channel. Kashif Caldwell, Infamous Chillin', I Am Black Man, John Reads Too Much, Nya Checkya, Leroy Honeycutt, True King 337, B Hitfire, Force Windu, Michael Cavinus, Urban Nomad, Raphael Brown, Barnolas, Kyle J. Stura, I'm Just Jules, The Book of Ronin, Ad Media 83, Damon Harris, Brian McMurray, Mr. Lumef, TD Hip Hop Media, Drew Mang, Shop Talk Live, Brian Jackson, The Face, Mr. Heat, David The Man, Afro Analyst, NEU, Ronan Martin, Black Wizard, ADOS, Camp Low, Isa Abdul Sahir, Sir Anthony, Deshaun Nolly, MLR, Charles Rogers, Black Dog, Brother Love, Universal 178, Black Swerve 404, Rashid Barnes, Aaron Smith, DH, C Truth the Revelator, Gold Professor, Nameless Protagonist, Black Pill Net Stark, Arthur Unknown, Odd Collard, Dr. Tiasan Johnson, Brian Williams, Kalan Jakala, Sherrod Martin, Ricky Dawson, Cedric Bowman, True 7360, BK Boyne Shaheed, James Washington, Hospital Adept, Seven Coast Dojo, WPR 1, Rogish the Billmonger, I Care, Lady Miss Thing Green, BGS Ibmore, and Marvin Battle Jr. Thank you for being members of the Green Gorilla channel. I'd like to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for all the help and support you provided to help make the Green Gorilla channel what it is. And if you are inquiring about how you can become a member of the Green Gorilla channel, well, here's how. What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Today, I want to introduce you to my new membership program that consists of 5 levels where you can invest in the Green Gorilla channel on a monthly basis and receive level-specific perks. Memberships are special because they improve the quality of the content of the channel and will help me to be able to keep the channel going. Now, to participate in the Green Gorilla channel membership program, all you have to do is hit the join button, which is located right next to the subscribe button on my channel page. Now, for all of my subscribers who decide not to participate in my membership program, nothing will change. The content will keep coming the way it always has. Thanks for watching, and be careful out here, people. Bless. Yeah, so, I put the link to the channel for StreamYard so that you can talk to me if you got something to say to me. Look, people will have you believing that up is not down, that left is right, and that white is black. They're having you believe, or they'll have you believe, a cat is a dog, what's straight is crooked, what's crooked is straight. I'm here to set the record straight. If you got any disagreement with anything I say, I invite you to come on this channel. Don't hang out in the comment section proliferating a bunch of chicanery. If you have something to say, come on the show in real time and say it. It's just that simple. That's what men do, don't they? If they got something to say, they step up and they say it. We'll do that. It ain't hard to do. It's easy. It's simple. All you got to do, come into the stream. Say what you have to say. I'm going to be doing a show about this tomorrow. It's about wise men speaking because they have something to say. But fools speak because they have to say something. It goes along with the idea some fools love to perform. They don't feel cool or feel good about themselves unless they're creating turmoil or starting some shit. There are people out here who would have you believe racism doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It don't exist. These white people, they love it. They treat us so fair.
Man, I just don't have time for coonery or buffoonery, man. I don't. It's too late in the stage of this game to be engaged in chicanery and buffoonery and coonery. I don't have time for it. If you have a problem with anything I say, it's easy to either not listen or to come on the show. It's just simple. If you disagree with anything I say, I invite you. I'm begging you. Step up. But you know, oftentimes what I get? Crickets. That's all I get. Crickets. No shows. Absence. Negation. Lack. Cowardice. Pusillanimity. Come on in. The water's fine, boss. Get it in. That's all I'm asking. Don't hang out in the comment sections. Bring that ass here, boy. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind disagreement. It's part of life. But don't come in with a rancorous, sarcastic, and a snarky attitude. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's lame. In fact, I consider it to be some whole shit. That's how I feel about it. But that's just my opinion. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna talk more about this tomorrow. But that's just how I feel. That's my opinion. We can't grow if we stuck in the same stupid shit. You say you want to grow, you say you want to move forward. How can we move forward if we can't even be aware of the social environment in which we live? It's stupid. I don't have time to engage in stupidity. Don't try to convince me the sky's not blue or that the earth is flat. I'm not here for that bullshit. I got better shit to do with my time. But if you want to be entertained, I'll entertain you. And I'll mop the floor with you. I'll knock you out like Tyson in his prime and send you on your way. If that's what you need, that's what you want, I'll give it to you. Shots fired, man. If that's what you want, come on. But I'm not into subliminal nothing. I don't do walk arounds and talk arounds. I don't do shit like that. This goes out for any and everyone. I'm just keeping it 100, man. I operate and abide by the principles like the Nation of Islam. You got a problem with a man, bring it straight to the motherfucking man. Don't go walking around, talking around. This ain't no fucking rap game. This is real life, man. We not about to do this shit on a goddamn YouTube show. It's stupid. We gotta be men, man. And men from time to time will engage in conflict. And if they're true brothers, they'll get the conflict on, get it cooked, beef over with, and move on to the next topic. After a motherfucker nose is bloody or whatever the case may be, you keep it pushing. Keep it a buck. But I'm not about to get involved in all this old slick and snarky shit. I don't do that, man. I'm just letting you know. But that's not the reason that I'm here anyway. I'm here to talk about Disney and anti-black misandry and racism, which some people seem to think doesn't exist. It's a figment of my imagination.
You just imagining that, boss.
Like it doesn't exist. which is ridiculous to me. It's absurd to me that we're still even entertaining these kind of conversations in 2020. I was born at night. I wasn't born last night. You can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. That's all I'm saying, man. So let me get into the proceedings, man. I'm going to take a quick break, man. When I come back, I'm going straight into this presentation about Disney and anti-black misandry. So I'll be back in a jiffy, man. All right, we're back. I'm DG. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. This is a place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chasers. And, you know, it's an adult channel. And, I encourage you, if you don't like the views or the opinions expressed here, to leave. You don't have to be here. I've always said this, and I'll say this again. Well, I don't always say it, but I have said it. And I've said it often. There are a million channels on YouTube. Millions. Thousands and thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of content providers. If you don't like the content you hear here, make like Grandmaster Flash in that song back in the day. Step, 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 step off. Step off. It's just simple. It's real simple. Anyway, man, let me get to this. So, man, look, Walt Disney has put out some films that I find questionable. They put out some imagery about black men that I would consider to be highly problematic as it pertains to the way that it depicts black men. Now, I've spoken to you before about the distorted patterns of portrayal of black males in the media. I've done it. And these portrayals stand in opposition to the real world facts about black men's lives. I've told you, because this is like part 5 in a series that I'm doing on the media and anti-black misandry. And I told you there's only 6 companies. 6 companies. I've covered 5 of them thus far. And today I'm covering Disney. Okay? And those companies are GE, News Corp, Viacom, Time Warner, CBS, and Disney. Now, I haven't discussed Viacom, but I have discussed GE, News Corp, Time Warner, and CBS. Today, we're dealing with Disney. And Disney has some notable holdings in its company. Disney owns ESPN, ABC, Pixar, Miramax, and Marvel Studios, and many other subsidiaries underneath those umbrellas. But I'm not going to cover everything. I can't. There's only so much time that I can dedicate or allocate towards the show related to this matter. So I'm going to go through a few shows, and then after that, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to zoom out. But, and no, I haven't, look, I'm not going to talk about Soul, and I'm not going to talk about the Black Panther unless you bring it up in a conversation. We can have a conversation about that. I've talked about this issue on Dr. Tia Johnson's show, and also I've discussed this issue related to the Black Panther on my own website. I wrote an article about whether or not Shuri is likely to be the individual, Letitia Wright, the woman who plays Shuri, whether or not she's likely to be the new Black Panther. I've already discussed this topic, so I don't feel like I should have to go over it again. But I think that Black Panther would be inspirational for young black boys. It's something that fathers can take their sons to see them depicted in a way that's heroic. And I think it's tragic to take that away from black men at a time when black men are not garnering much respect in this society at large, not getting much respect within the context of the political framing in the black community. So I think that, to have a discussion with your son about the Black Panther, the king of the most technologically advanced nation on earth in the Marvel universe, or one of them, with actual resources that they're able to utilize, that's an autonomous nation, that's black, it's important for kids to be able to have those kind of conversations, especially black boys, with their fathers. So I don't think that should be taken away, but we'll see what they do. We don't know what they're going to do. We do know that the shooting for the Black Panther is going to, I think, take place in July, if I'm not mistaken. But, the history of Disney is problematic all across the board, especially in its earlier, more formative stages and with its earlier movies. Okay? I want to draw your attention first to a movie that I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. It's called Dumbo. Okay? And I'm pretty sure you've all seen Dumbo. I think the movie was first screened, or its exhibition debuted in 1941. Okay? It details the life of a young circus elephant born with comically large ears and given a cruel nickname, Dumbo. So one day at a show, he's taunted by a group of kids, which eventually incites his mother to go into a fit of rage, which gets her locked up. And after Dumbo's ears cause an accident that injures many of the other elephants, he's made to dress like a clown and to perform dangerous stunts. But everything changes when Dumbo discovers that his enormous ears actually allow him to fly. And he astounds everyone in the circus with his new talent. Dumbo becomes an accepted member of the elephant community for being different. So I think the cynical optimist is onto something here. He knows where I'm going with this. I'm going into this right here. Okay? And the syncing of the audio and the video may be off a little bit. I was experimenting with this earlier today, and I didn't quite get the effect that I wanted. But I do want to show you the video. And I haven't done this in shows past related to this subject matter, but I will do it today because I want you to see this. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, having said that, let me show you.
Well, look at here,
My. Why, this is most irregular. Well, I just can't believe my eyes. They dead, is they?
No, dead people don't snow. Or do they?
What's all the rookin'? Come on, step aside, brother. What's cooking around here? What's the good news? What's frying, boy?
Just look down here, brother.
And prepare yourself for a shock.
Well, hush my beat.
Go ahead. Wake him up, brother. Yeah, find out what they're doing up here.
Yeah. And ask them what they want.
Okay, boys, leave it to me. Oh, those pink elephants. Oh, pink elephant? What's so funny? What are you boys doing down here anyway? What are we doing down here? Well, hear him talk. Come on, fly up a tree where you belong. Hey, look here, Brother Rat. Brother Rat? Now listen, I ain't your brother and I ain't no rat, see? Uh-huh. And I suppose you and no elephant ain't up in no tree either. No, me and no tree ain't up no... Huh? Tree? Dumbo. Dumbo. Wake up. Wake up, Dumbo. Don't look now, but I think we're up in a tree.
So that's the end of the clip, okay? Now, you know, when I saw that, I was highly offended. You know, I was highly offended about that, you know, because, you know, they have characters in the movie which are, you know, I won't say anthropomorphized, but they're made into animals, okay? And certain animals are utilized to depict black people. And I just think that it's a movie where you have the exaggeration of negative associations of black men. We already know what those negative associations are. Okay? You know, criminality, unemployment, poverty, idleness, shiftiness. Those are common and current themes still today. But there's a history, a genealogy of this kind of presentation of black men on the screen across the board. Now, we already know that the true face of idleness, laziness, and poverty in America is not black men. But over and over again, that's the image that we see presented to us. What black men? Ooh, what we gonna do now? Look at here. Oh my God. I mean, how many of y'all know black men that talk like that? Sure gonna get us something today, boss. What you talking about now? I mean, it's ridiculous. And yeah, black people use slang when they talk, but it never sounds like that. And it never comes across like that. This caricaturization of us is dim-witted, lazy, shucking, jiving, stepping, fetching human beings. It's just not an accurate portrayal of who we are and the scope and range of our thought processes. But that's how we're depicted. Step and fetch it. And, you know, the funny thing about it is, you know, if white guys, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I got to just put this out here. If white men are so hardworking, they're so industrious, they're so virtuous in relation to the effort that they expend in order to draw resources from the planet and to make good in cultivating that which is uncultivated. Why do they need black men's labor to build this bitch? Why? Explain that. I mean, if they're the most hardworking people on the earth and they're the most enlightened and they're, the most industrious, why do they need our labor? Nobody else would do the work. White indentured servants wouldn't do it. They was like, nah, we good with that. We're not going to do this. We're good. But they forced us to do it. They forced us to do it. But if they're the most hardworking and industrious, they just would have done it themselves. No need to get us to do it. No need. They could have John Henry this bitch their goddamn selves. Yeah, they could have, Damon. They could have done it themselves. Period. Simple. Easy fix. No racial problems, no nothing. They could have just done it themselves. But they didn't. Because they were exploiters. They were the free riders. That's the original free riding right there. The original free riders. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm keeping it a buck. Keeping it 1,000. Keeping it 1 million. Just a question. But this, it's not the only movie, this Dumbo movie, where you got black people depicted in a less than honorific, a less than a civilized and an uncultured way. We're going to talk about Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. The blurb, the little advertisement for it, Disney's beguiling animated romp. Rebellious 16-year-old mermaid Ariel is fascinated with the life on the land. On one of her visits to the surface, which are forbidden by her controlling father, King Triton, she falls for a human prince. Determined to be with her new love, Ariel makes a dangerous deal with the sea witch Ursula to become human for 3 days. But when plans go awry for the star-crossed lovers, the king must make the ultimate sacrifice for his daughter. Well, problematic as well, and we'll see how. Let's view it, shall we?
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While the devoting full time floating under the sea. Down here, all the fish is happy.
Here, all the fish is happy. I mean, clearly, the crab is a Jamaican black man. Clearly. I mean, look at the lips of the crab. Go back. You can see the lips. The big lipped crab. The big lip crab. Just look at the lips. I don't want to go to Jungle Book just yet. Just look at the lips.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away.
More negative associations. A Jamaican crab with big lips that sings in broken English. That's what it is. I didn't make it up. Disney made it up. All I can do is present the facts and demonstrate to you what the iconography is. That's not flattering, that imagery. Out in the sun, they slave all day, all they work away. Don't go up there, stay under the sea, under the sea. He sings about avoiding work and living a life of carefree indolence, which is typically how black men have been portrayed on the silver screen since the silver screen was created. And this is a recurrent theme with Disney and black men. Maybe things are beginning to change, but this is the history of Disney. It's Disney's legacy. It's their legacy. And you all know Jungle Book. So the blurb for Jungle Book is, in this classic Walt Disney animation based on Roger Kipling's book. Now you don't want to get off into Roger Kipling, but I will in a second, but not probing in a deep way, but I'll talk about it tangentially. But anyway, in this classic Walt Disney animation based on Roger Kipling's book, Mowgli, an abandoned child raised by wolves, has his peaceful existence threatened by the return of the man-eating tiger, Shere Khan. Facing certain death, Mowgli must overcome his reluctance to leave his wolf family and return to the man village. But he's not alone on his quest. Aided by Bagheera the Panther, and later by the carefree bear, Baloo, he braves the jungle's many perils. The Jungle Book. This is like, another Tarzan story. But let's look at the imagery. I mean, just look at how black men are portrayed in this movie.
Ouch! Boy, when you flick a fly, you really... Why, you fat-nosed, little-eyed, flaky freak!
Hey, let go of me!
Take your flea-picking hands off of my cow!
Come on and get him, champ!
He ain't no champ, he's a chump! Yeah, a big hothead!
Okay, you guys asked for it, I'll...
Pull him off!
Give me back my man cub!
Here he is! Come and get him! That's how a bear can rest at ease!
Here's some bare necessities.
Now just try that again, you...
So anyway, clearly, these monkeys are black men. Here's something to put your mind at ease. Here's some bare necessities. He ain't be having this like exaggeration of the ignorance of black dialect. The caricaturization of us is lazy, violent, bumbling, as practical jokers, slapstick humor, buffoons and stepping fetchers. That's a common theme. You see it again and again and again. I mean, look, somebody said uh, you forgot to say fair use. I don't know if you saw the audio. The audio wasn't synced. It's not synced. For some reason, I can't get it straight. They say the stream is suspended. Oh, they coming. Can you hear me? Is it back on? It's back on? Okay. See, this is why you got to support the channel, man. I know y'all like to spectate, but you got to support the channel, man. But we're going in. I told you I was going to show this is fair use. I am able to make critical remarks and comments about Disney. I am able to do that. And if you don't want me to do that, well, then maybe you ought to not make movies that can be critiqued in such a way. I didn't make these movies. Black people didn't make movies depicting white people like this. Disney did this. I didn't do this. Disney did this. This is why you got to support the channel, man. They'll try to cut you off. If you like content like this, you better support it. Because they'll try to do everything they can to prevent you from being able to speak on issues the way you feel like you ought to be able to speak on issues. They'll try to halt, stunt, thwart, stymie, block everything that you're trying to do in order to express yourself and to illustrate your position or to demonstrate your thoughts about a specific issue. This is fair use. I'm not showing this in order to generate traffic here, in order to promote Disney. I'm doing this in order to educate black men on the anti-misandrous habits, black misandrous habits that Disney is engaged in. But it's not the last clip I'm going to show, so they can get mad again. They can try to stun it again. I'm going to show another one. How about that? I'm going to show another one. Fair use. And I don't care if I get paid for it. I don't. It ain't like I'm making big grip off YouTube. No way. But the whole point is, if you want content like this, you got to support the channel, man. Bottom line. So, another movie, beyond, and look, let me just cover Jungle Book before I move on. Again, here you have negative associations about black men exaggerated. It depicts black men as jive-talking monkeys, making mischief in the jungle. I mean, this is what it does. And the movie itself is based on Roger Kipling's book of the same name and his concept of the white man's burden. I don't know if you know what the white man's burden is, but it was, for the most part, a poem about the Philippine-American War. And it's not flattering at all. It's not flattering at all. I mean, what is it? The burden of white men to civilize the world while killing, maiming, raping, pillaging, and plundering all in the same breath? Oh, it's for your good. Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile to serve your captives' need. To wait in heavy harness on fluttered folk and wild. Your new caught sullen peoples, half devil and child. Half child. Take up the white man's burden in patience to abide, to veil the threat of terror, and check the show of pride. By open speech and simple, and 100 times mad plain, to seek another's profit and work another's gain. Take up the white man's burden, the savage wars of peace. Fill full the mouth of famine, and bid the sickness cease. And when your goal is nearest, the end for others sought, watch sloth and heathen folly, bring all hope, bring all your hope to naught. Take up the white man's burden, no tawdry rule of kings, but toil of serf and sweeper. The tale of common things. The porch ye shall not enter, the roads ye shall not tread. Go make them with your living, and mark them with your dead. Take up the white man's burden, and reap his old reward. The blame of those ye better, the hate of those ye guard. The cry of hosts ye humor, slowly toward the light. Why brought ye us from bondage, our loved Egyptian night? Take up the white man's burden. Ye dare not stoop to less, nor call too loud on freedom to cloak your weariness. By all ye cry or whisper, by all ye leave or do, the silent sullen peoples shall weigh your gods in you. Take up the white man's burden. Have done with childish days, the lightly profit laurel, the easy ungrudged praise. Comes now to search your manhood through all the thankless years, cold edge with dear bought wisdom, the judgment of your peers. How aggrandizing is that? How aggrandizing is that? But at any rate, that's the white man's burden. The burden to civilize the uncultivated flora and fauna of the planet Earth. To bring order to disorder. To bring some simulacrum of structure to chaos. The white man's burden. So at any rate, moving on. Can't forget the Princess and the Frog. Can't forget the Princess and the Frog. So in this movie, there is a hardworking and ambitious Tiana who dreams of one day opening the finest restaurant in New Orleans. Her dream takes a slight detour when she meets Prince Naveen, who has been turned into an amphibian by Yves Octo Facilier, Mistaking her for a princess and hoping to break the spell, Naveen plants a kiss on poor Tiana, thereby turning her into a frog as well. The pair hop along on an adventure through the bayou to seek the help of a powerful voodoo priestess. Well, Disney, block me again. The thinking might be off a little bit, but we're going through this regardless. Let's do it.
This chap is obviously a charlatan. I suggest we move on to a less...
Don't you disrespect me, little man. Don't you derogate or deride. You're in my world now, not your world. And I got friends on the other side. That's an echo, gentlemen. Just a little something we have here in Louisiana. A little parlor trick, don't worry. Sit down at my table. Put your mind at ease. If you relax, it will enable me to do anything I please.
Now look, I don't want to show too much of this because I don't want to get another blocking. But again, you got negative associations which are exaggerated. And in fact, the antagonist of this movie is a bastardization of Papa Legba. The voodoo god of the crossroads. The function that Papa Legba plays in the voodoo tradition, or the tradition of voodoo, is that he acts as Hermes does. He bridges divides. He exists within intersections. That's where he lives. Papa Legba. But this is a demonization or a bastardization of that deity. And another funny thing about it is, so you got a black man antagonist. Black male antagonist. Then you got a prince who's supposed to be black male, but then he's voiced by a Brazilian actor who's racially ambiguous. Racially ambiguous. I don't know if you know who the Brazilian man is. I can't remember his name. I didn't want to write it down. But yeah. A Brazilian man. Now we know that Brazilians have African blood. In fact, more slaves from West Africa were brought to Brazil than were brought to the United States. Those are facts. But come on, man. You couldn't find an African American to play this role. You had to go get a Brazilian to do it. But you found a way to get an evil black man from America. You found that, but you couldn't find a protagonist of the story, a supporting actor of African American descent to play the role. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's a load of shit. But that's Disney for you. That's Disney. And oh my God, really, this here takes the cake for me. When I saw this, and look, the audio is a little off. I can't get it to sync up unless I put it in OBS directly as a video, and I try to avoid that. But maybe next time I will do that because I'm doing a slideshow from Keynote and OBS simultaneously. But it doesn't matter. Next time I'll do something a little different. But this takes the cake right here. Song of the South. I saw this. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I literally, I couldn't believe it. Based on the Uncle Remus stories about the ingenious bunny Brer Rabbit using live action and animation. Following the separation of his parents, a young boy goes to live in the American South. There he meets Uncle Remus, who gives the boy valuable insights into his problems via the stories he tells about Brer Rabbit. I mean, you literally have a black man who's like the fucking black man, I can't even remember his name, in Huckleberry Finn or some shit, walking through a cartoon land as a slave on a plantation, instructing white boys and white little children on how to live life through the tales of Brer Rabbit. I'm like, really? Now, you know the famous song, zippity doo dah, zippity day. Wow, oh, wow, what a wonderful day. Zippity doo dah, zippity day. I mean, really, man. That's how black people were on the plantation, right? Zippity doo dah, zippity day. It's ridiculous, man. But this is how we're portrayed in the media. Uncle Remus. Look at this, man. It's ridiculous, man.
And don't you never forget it.
How'd Brer Rabbit get away, Uncle Remus?
Who say he get away?
Brer Rabbit always gets away.
Don't you be too sure. Ain't I done told you that Brer Rabbit being little and without much strength, he's supposed to use his head instead of his foot.
Did he? Sure he did.
Now who's telling this here tale?
You are?
Then you just sit and do the listening. Well, sir, there he was, sitting in the middle of the road, just like you sitting in that chair. Only he's all mixed up with that tar baby. And it sure looked like the end of the finish for poor little Brer Rabbit. Cause old Brer Fox was fixed to barbecue him for dinner. Right then and there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just in a minute now. Won't be long now. Dinner going to be ready in a minute now. All you have to do is put a few more sticks on the fire. Get fire going good. Oh, excuse me. You was going to stay for dinner, ain't you, Brer Rabbit? We ain't going to take no excuses now. We just love to have you for dinner. Wouldn't we just love to have him for dinner, Brer Bear? Ain't that just what you've been saying?
No, sir. What I said was, I'm gonna knock his head clean off.
No, indeed, not that. No, stop. Wait a minute. No, you can't do that. No. No, see, he's mine. I caught him and you keep your hands off.
But look, I'm gonna knock his head.
No, that's too quick. We're gonna make him suffer. And I'm gonna do it the way I wanna do it.
But look.
Oh, I know, I got right in the back of my little head. I know what we're gonna do.
Now look. I'm gonna knock his head.
Go ahead, Brother Bear. Come on, knock my head clean off.
Well, I mean, look. Do you hear the language and the dialogue from these two characters who are being villains or depicted as villains who are trying to harm Brer Rabbit? One is a fast-talking black man, and the other's a dim-witted black man. Just a big brute. Yeah, I'm gonna knock his head off. No, you're gonna knock his head off. I'm gonna knock his head off. I'm about to get him. You know what I'm doing? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm commenting and offering critique about these images. and the stereotyping. And you want to ban me? You want to drop me from the stream? Are you mad? You don't want anybody to show or make money off your art? Is that what it is? Disney? Corporation? This got me right here saying, fuck Disney. I think Derek Holmes is right there. I think he's on to something there. They put the blackface behind the cartoon veneer. I'm just commenting on it. People need to see this. Look, here's the deal, fellas. And people they minimize this point. There is a troubling link between media portrayals and lowered life chances for black males. I'm going to repeat that again. There is a troubling link between media portrayals and the lowered life chances of black males. Let me say it again. There's a troubling link between media portrayals and lowered life chances for black males. This stuff has real world impact on the way people perceive us, how they regard us, how they conceive us. So while you worried about money and your reputation, only as it pertains to filthy lucre, we're worried about our fucking lives, Disney. That's what we worried about. We're worried about getting shot and killed in the fucking street, Disney. That's what we're worried about. You're worried about your reputation as it pertains to the ability to make money. As you engage in the practices of mammon. We're worried about our lives, not getting killed and shot, disrespected and derogated. That's what we're worried about. Disney. So don't get mad at me. Don't try to put a copyright strike on me for presenting the truth. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. That's your legacy. That is your legacy. It's all out here for the world to see. You put it out there. I didn't put it out there. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Oh my, what a wonderful day. I mean, they got people on the plantation cooking, washing, just whistling, like everything is all good out here. This is anti-black misandry to the extreme, to the third power. Because this is directed towards children. This impacts the unconscious minds of children and leads them to develop a worldview about black men. It's a tragedy. It's a terrible history. It's insidious, is what it is. And nobody wants to have a conversation about it. They don't want you to have a conversation about it. They want you to sit back and be quiet. Shut up. Button it up. Don't say anything about us. Don't use our images. Don't use our songs. I ain't the one who created this, man. I done moved too far. I'm going to paid in full in a minute. May as well go to it now. But I really wanted to go back to talk about. I can get there if it will stay there. Anyway, man, this movie is about the idealization of slavery and plantation life. It's the romanticization of slavery as an institution and how happy and how peaceful and how mundane the existence of slavery was and the relationship between black and white people was related to the institution. This idyllic presentation is ridiculous. But that's Disney for you. Creating magic. Creating magic. They have black men existing on this plantation as happy slaves. And it's also, the mischaracterization of black men through buffoon cartoon characters, man. That's what Disney does. And they won't make a deal with black men. They'll make a deal with every other damn demographic or group in the country except for us. They won't have a conversation with us. They won't talk to us. For us to even bring it up is insulting to them. They need to be held accountable. Just like anybody else would. So anyway, man, the next thing I want to talk about is Miramax Films. And Miramax is a subsidiary of Disney. And look, I like movies that are filled or chock full of crime. I mean, they're cool. But when you start to see nothing but these kind of movies, man, where you see movie after movie after movie after movie after movie with black criminals, black men portrayed as criminals, over and over and over and over and over again, it gets redundant and it gets depressing. And it reinforces in the unconscious minds of everyone, even black people themselves, black men in particular. Because black men are also impacted by the media. They start to think negatively of black men themselves. And black men begin to imitate the images that they see on the screen. So y'all all seen Paid in Full, man. It's a movie about the late 80s. And you got Wood Harris, who plays Ace, a young man employed by a Harlem dry cleaning shop, working hard to stay out of the drug business. While making deliveries, he meets Lulu, a drug dealer who convinces Ace to join him. Ace recruits his friends, Cameron and Mekhi Phifer, Mitch and Rico, and the trio become major players in the Harlem drug underworld. A violent business that will test the friends' loyalty and wits as the money rolls in and dangers grow beyond their control. I mean, here we are. Another one of these movies. And all I can say about it is negative associations that are exaggerated. And it's another tale of black men as violent criminals and dope dealers. I'm just tired of seeing this, man. And I told you, this is the last movie I'm going to show. Look, there's only so much of this I was going to go into. But you see the history. You see the history. You see the tendency. But then you got people nowadays, even black people, they'll tell you, there ain't no institutional racism. Ain't no racism. Racism don't exist. Black people just don't work. I'm not saying I didn't like the movie at all. I liked the movie, man. But damn, can we see something else other than these kind of movies? With black men playing these kind of characters, man. I mean, how many of them are there? Paid in Full, New Jack City, Colors. How many movies are there like this out there? Superfly, The Mac. I mean, going all across the board, man. How many of these movies do we need to see? Dead presidents. How many crime tales do we need? And then Disney actually has a movie, because they bought Marvel Studios. They actually have a movie that depicts a black man in a heroic light. And we don't even know if there's going to be a black man that takes on the character ever again. We don't even know. We don't even know. And yes, it is troubling, like somebody mentioned The Mandalorian. So let's talk about it, And I'm going to leave an invite to the stream here in case anybody wants to make a comment. All I see is the comment going to, okay, I see it in YouTube as well. But I'm just pointing it out, man. Look, your image is everything. Your reputation is everything. Your reputation precedes you everywhere. Before you step into a room, your reputation precedes you. And the media plays a function, a role in the way that we're presented to the culture at large, and it has an impact on how we're able to fare in the society in which we live. And it also impacts us in such a way that we begin to have anti-black misandrous feelings towards ourselves. We begin to think that this is the norm for us. I told people, and look, this is the funny thing, man. If you ask people who a drug dealer commonly is, or like what's the common person that's a drug dealer or a drug abuser, you're going to probably get some statement about how black people are. At least that's the conventional wisdom in popular culture. That we're the ones doing dope, sitting around idle and lazy, not being productive, just smoking our life away. But white people are just as likely to be drug dealers and drug users as black people. But black people are arrested at much higher rates than that of white folks. And then you got coons, black men, who are willing to put forth the idea, the notion that there's no such thing as institutional racism. What the fuck is wrong with you Negroes, man? I don't get it. I just don't understand y'all thinking process. I don't understand it. You got history that demonstrates that these people will throw you under the bus and tarnish your image. And then as soon as you begin to resist against it, you got black fucking men who come and argue against you and say, you nigga, you just compete
complaining. Nigga, there's something is wrong with black people. There's something is wrong with us.
Straight coonery buffoonery. There ain't be having no racism in this country. It's an old miracle. I loves my country. I love this place. I love the master. Let me give you a little kiss. It stupefies me. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. They'll admit it. And then we'll come, no, boss, you wasn't being racist to me. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You try to point out the injustices that exist within the culture in which we live, and they'll try to tell you it's something fucked up with you. There's something wrong with you for even pointing it out. I point out the fact that black people own 1% of the wealth in this country or less than that. And then you got black men who will come on the show or come on your channel and then start, ain't nothing wrong with the economic system we got. There ain't nothing wrong with the system. It's all great out here. We just lazy. We like to talk like the people that cooned on the cartoons. I just don't get the thought process. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm lost. I'm not lost in my own thought. I'm lost about how you're thinking. Have you internalized your own inferiority to such an extent that you can't see what's right in front of your face? I don't get it. I can't comprehend it. I'm lost on it. I don't get it. I'm lost on it. I'm confused. How could you be confronted with so much evidence that there's a continuation of the practices that have existed since the inception of this nation, and all you do is you try to explain it away? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Now keep leaving links for you to come and have a conversation with me about it. And the first thing y'all do is you wait until the damn show is over and then motherfuckers start making slick comments in the goddamn comment section. Like they're experts on economic theory or some shit. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm lost on it. Help me understand it. I'm begging. This is what I know. You know, didn't your parents used to tell you? Money don't grow on trees. You ever heard that? Put a 1 in the comment section if you heard money don't grow on trees. Because it doesn't. Have you ever heard of that statement before in your life? Money don't grow on trees. Put a 1 in the comment section if you ever heard it. But let me tell you something about it. Money does not occur in nature. Let me repeat this again. Money does not occur in nature. Money doesn't occur in nature. Money does not occur in nature. It does not occur in nature, meaning it's not natural. It's an artifice. It's artificial. Do you get it? Money is artificial. It's not real. It's a construction. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have a real world impact. It does. But in and of itself, it's not real. Some of you motherfuckers need to watch Gilligan's Island. Sit back, and you'll hear a tale. On the island, the money that the Thurston Howell had, it didn't have any value whatsoever. None. It only has value because we give it value. But it's not natural. But then you got motherfuckers kicking so-called terms around and shit like it's natural shit. Like we have like an understanding about it, like how physicists understand the physical world. How chemists understand, hydrogen and helium and nitrogen and oxygen that operate by laws that you can confirm through experience or through observation, because these things are inanimate objects that don't fucking actually deviate from the previous behavior. But human beings don't operate like that. Human beings are not atoms, although they're made up of atoms. They don't act like inanimate objects, which creates and adds a layer of complexity to musing about economics that you will never get in physics. You'll never get in chemistry or biology. But we want to sit here and talk about fucking classical economics, liberal theory, like I'm some sort of fucking dummy as it pertains to it. Like I've never studied this shit. I just don't get it. It's an artificial thing. Economics has more to do with an assessment about human nature as opposed to what's actually happening when it comes to finances or economics in general. Economics is a social science. It's not a hard science. There are no hard and fast rules that apply to economics in the same way that they apply to physics, chemistry, and biology. That's something I know. Because I've taught the philosophy of science, so I know that shit. But it's a lot of people making a lot of proclamations about shit they really don't know nothing about. And I'm not saying I know everything about it, but I know more than the average person. I just don't understand. You got a group of people in a country that were subjected to slavery. After that, they were subjected to Jim Crow. The Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act was only 60 damn years ago, man. And then you got motherfuckers in this space who are going to say that racism still doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anymore. It's all been washed away. With no reconciliation, no reparation, no nothing. Man, this is some dumb shit, man. I just don't have time for stupidity, man. I don't. And I'm going to call it what it is. I don't have time to go over baby steps If you got a problem with what I'm saying, get the fuck off the channel. If you don't like to hear this, or if you want to go hear Rush Limbaugh, go fuck him, man. If you want to hear a bunch of white motherfuckers talk about how black people are backward, and that's why they're poor, because they're lazy, shiftless, and spineless, that's what you want to hear, go over there and listen to that shit. There's no need to frustrate yourself here. I don't even understand what you're in the space for, if that's what you want to hear. And then you got people who come in and they make assumptions about what it is that you're articulating without even hearing the whole story. Which is ridiculous. Also stupid. We got to wise up, man. That's all I'm saying. We have to wise up. I'm not here to hold your hand through this shit. I'm here to slap this cold ass water in your face. That's it. I'm not a shaman, a fucking spiritual guide, a fuck none of that. And the funny thing is, man, this is the shit that gets my goat, man. Look, I'm a human being just like anybody else on this planet. I never came into this space or any other space ever in my life and tried to make it out to be like I'm better than somebody else. I've come straight from the hip every time. And I try to show humility to everyone all the time. But I will go off on your ass if you come to me with some bullshit. Because if you keep tolerating bullshit, more and more and more and more and more and more people will come to you with some more and more bullshit. And I never got used to the smell of shit. I don't like it. So I prefer to remove myself from it. I told people before, I'm not a goddamn Marxist. But there's reasons why I'm not a Marxist. I have arguments for why I'm not a Marxist. I've actually happened to read it. I've read the Grundice. I've read the Jewish Question. I've read the Manifesto. But I've also read Hegel. And I understand that if you want to understand Marx, you got to read Hegel. It just gets my goat, man. It upsets me, man. Because I'm trying to give you these gems, and then when you give them, the first thing you got is some haughty-taughty motherfucker who not even listening or paying attention. They got something to say. But I don't want to reveal or let too much out of the bag for tomorrow, man. So I will holler at y'all tomorrow, man. Support the Green Gorilla channel if you can. They don't like this kind of information. They don't like this kind of thought process moving around in the world. They consider it to be toxic. You're out of line. You're jumping the line. You're skipping your place. But democracy says we have the ability and the right to speak our mind just like anybody else does. D. Smitty hit it up, dialectical materialism. Well, you see, Hegel is a German idealist. So while Marx reduced his musings, or Hegel's musings, to materialism, Hegel was all about idealism. So that's the difference between Hegel and Marx. But they perform the same functions. They do the same thing. So anyway, I see ain't nobody. Again, I always offer the opportunity for somebody to come up. If they don't like what I'm saying, the invite has been put out there. Either you like it or you don't. If you don't like it, stay away. If you feel like I'm saying something in error or I'm misrepresenting reality, bring your ass on the show and demonstrate to me how I am misrepresenting the truth about America. That I'm lying. That I'm somehow naive myself. I'm misrepresenting the truth. Demonstrate it. So I'm out of here, man. I ain't gonna stay no more longer, man. I'm out this joint. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.
I'm a phenomenon, I shine like Orion. I came in a rap gang to smack it up like Heron, transform it like Megatron. Wait, like Yamatron, most rappers are some peons. I'ma starve them like Ramadan, I'm troublesome. You don't really want no troublesome, cause I pop guns like hood chicks do bubble gum. I been dumb, gon' stay that way till kingdom come. When the sun I'm at, unleash a demon, a polygon. I'm heavy, son, got more knowledge than Farrakhan, more gang than Cap. Come with that bishop named Don Juan, stay lit off some Shandon. Maybe Bacardi Ram, stay drink to some Nordstrom. Call me that Dapper Don, more violent than Genghis Khan. The members of Taliban, niggas faker than silicon. Get hit like a .com, like soldiers in Lebanon. I'm bringing that red rum. When I get through with you, son, you gon' think of C-Ram. Run! I carry weight like a heavyweight. Bake more cakes than patty cake. Watch the fiend salivate. You a lightweight, bantamweight. Better contemplate. If you violate, make you levitate to the pearly gates. I fascinate when I conversate from the show me state where these niggas love to hate and hot murder rate. What a waste. But this flow is just a taste of God's grace. Shining this light in the ugly place. In the prophecy, got more wisdom than Socrates. Philosophies, you don't really want no parts of me. Can't you see? I'm slicker than Mephistopheles, stronger than Hercules, more dangerous than Damocles. The MCs trying me pretty please. I wet up they white tees, knock them out they wallabies. Now they touch my deliries. For coming up shorter than little C's when I break out the killer bees. I study music like Karkasi, hit chicks look like Ashanti. When I'm breaking them off, they yell at odd poppy. You rack rappers is sloppy, you can't stop me with that. We can sorry, copy, malarkey. I'm a monster like Frankenstein, rock harder than Palestine. You slimes, dropping dimes, a snake and serpentine. Can't stand to see me glow like Nas with his big shine. All you haters cold in it, cold sores need calamine. But my hot shit like red bricks hitting your head. Leave the sour taste up in your mouth like lemon heads, like simply red. Wasted some years up in the feds when I touched down. Already red that gave me head. I got higher vision for higher living. I'm highly driven. I'm acting women like it's some sort of sick religion. Driving an Impala, sitting on it, each 20 inches, and they spinning just like the planets in the solar system.
Black country people, over in Africa, down to America. Black country people, we make all the world go round and around, yes. Black country people, up in Canada, down to Jamaica. Black country people, we make all the world go round and